Hey everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. And in this video, we're going to do a little bit more with our UC1 here by Solid State Logic. This is part 2. This time out, we're going to do a little bit of mixing. We're going to be using, to stay inside of our DAW, which is Studio One, we're going to use our new channel strip here, the 4KB plugin. I'm just going to show you how quick it can be to be working around and mixing around this thing, just keeping one plugin window and going from track to track. And we're going to mix some drums, bass, and some acoustic guitar and some pianos. And then in the next video, we're going to do the same thing inside of the 360 software, so you can see maybe what the advantages of that are. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So if you have not seen the prior videos to this, where I walk through the UC1, all the controls, show you how to install the software, how to set it up, click the link in the description box below. And before we get started, if you like what you see in the video, subscribe, like, share, hit the thanks button if this video helps you in any way. Also, make sure you go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, because we're talking about mixing with all this solid state logic stuff, the UC1, in the future, the UF8. And I want to give you a free mixing course to help you on your mixing journey. It's right on the homepage. Click on the orange button. It's my gift to you. It's worth $100 just for visiting Home Recording Made Easy. And if you stick around towards the end of the video, I'm going to give you something else for free. So here we are in Studio One. Shut up, Dave. Get going. That's what you're saying. I know. Here we are. So we have our 4KB channel strip opened up here. We're on the kick track, which is track 1. And our mixer here, we have all of our drums in brown, and we have our bass in blue, a couple of acoustic guitars and piano. And so the deal is here, and what I really want to try to test out, and what I've been really, my main focus with all the surface controls, the DAW controllers that I've used in the past on this channel throughout this last 6 months, bringing you all these series of videos, is we want to get our hands off the mouse and the keyboard as much as humanly possible. And so by opening up this one plugin window, and on our UC1, just using the track button or the channel button, we can scroll through our tracks, and you'll see that our plugin window, it also advances to the next track. So you really only have to open the track once. That keeps us from having to close and open plugin windows, which is great, and keeps our hand off the mouse as much as possible, which is great. So one thing I did here is I put this channel strip across all of my tracks as my first instance, right? And then in my DAW, you'll see all of my faders, I just set to 0 dB. So there's a couple of ways you can mix with this if you want. You can either just stay inside of the plugin window, and you can use the gain knob here on the UC1 to do the output fader, and you can mix with these faders inside of each individual plugin. Or you can leave the plugin fader at 0 dB if you wanted to, and you can use your fader in your DAW. So if you had a UF8 along with this, which we have and we'll see in future videos, you can mix with the faders on your DAW and leave all of your faders here at 0 inside of your plugin windows if you wanted to do that. Or you can, and that's probably what we'll do here, but I don't have my UF8, so we can use our mouse to adjust our faders here. And then we can use our fader inside of the plugin just to level match the plugin. If we're going to boost some of the input, we're going to want to turn down some of the output to level match the plugin. There's several ways to mix. It's all about personal workflow. So let's just start here. We have all these tracks. Everything's just set to its default at 0. So the first thing I want to do, I think, is I want to just close this plugin window. I put the plugin across all the tracks, didn't do anything. No EQ, no compression, no input gain, nothing. Let's see what happens when we just bypass the plugin at its default setting. Keep your eye on the power button. We're going to start with it on, then we'll turn it off, and we'll turn it back on. And let's see with our channel strip, what is it really doing here? And then we'll jump into mixing here. So here we go. Oh, and by the way, I had a habit. Again, I hit the space bar on the keyboard. Let's not do that. Let's use our transport controls here on the UC1. Go back and watch the last video if you want to know how to get to that. All you really need to do is press this encoder right here, and it'll bring up our transport. So let's use those. I'm going to try to keep my hands off the keyboard as much as possible. Here we go. So not much of a difference. It's a little bit, the EQ curve changes a little bit on the low end, but it's nothing remarkable. So that's just what it sounds like if you just put it at its default settings. I thought that would be an interesting test. Sometimes these channel strips, you'll hear a little bit of a noticeable difference just running signal through it. Anyhow, let's just use our mouse to open up the first instance of the plugin on the kick drum. Now, I don't see a way on the UC1, as I said in the last video, to open and close the plugin window. So you do need to use your mouse for that. But here we go. So we're just going to kind of play this back. We're going to solo up our kick drum here. Oh, gonna hit the space bar out of habit. I want to hit my transport on the UC1. So here's our filter section. Now let me, I'll turn up the overall volume here on the master bus just so you could hear this a little bit better. There we go. So you can see there, I'm just adding a little bit, about 50 hertz on the low end. I'm taking about 6 dB out of 200, and I'm adding about 6 dB at 8K. I have a bell on the low frequencies, bell on the high frequencies, and here is what it sounds like. I can pull the EQ in and out with this button. So here we go. Here's with it out. So it's that quick. Boom, boom, boom. Really, really quick. Okay, we can increase our input if we wanted to right here at the top. You'll see the top center section. If we wanted to give it a little bit more gain. And then we can adjust the output. So if you really want to. So from that to that. Okay, so if you want to push the preamp a little bit more, hit these plugins a little harder, that tends to be where they sound really nice. You want to just smack this thing pretty good. So if we're adjusting our input gain with this gain knob here, we're turning down the fader to level match the plugin because you want to do that for your gain staging. That's without it. Let's flip the polarity. Well, there we go. Sounds better. A little bit of compression. So we'll do like a 2-to-1. So you can see how quick it is to really get in. And again, I haven't touched the mouse or the keyboard once. Everything's on the UC1. Now again, I haven't really practiced with this at all. I do these videos with these controllers. I should have said this at the beginning, where I pull it out of the box, I plug it in, I make sure it works, and then I turn the camera on and we walk through it together because I want to simulate the experience that you're going to have when you first get it in front of you. I don't want to practice with it for 3 months and then show you how great it is because you're not going to have that same experience when you first get it. I want to show you what it is right out of the box. How easily can you get on with these products? So I've only practiced with this thing for maybe 2 or 3 minutes before I turned on the camera. And that's the God honest truth. Same thing with the last video when we walked through it. We learn it together on camera. Anyway, so there it is. There's our kick drum. Before, after. We want to try our expander maybe, see how that works. Get rid of some of that snare bleed. Gets rid of some of that snare bleed. That's our gate, not our expander. Not a big fan of the gates. I never was. It always sounds like it distorts and clicks. I've never been a big fan of gates, but that's how it kind of works. We're gonna take this off here. Okay, let's move on to the snare. So now the way to move on to the snare is we just take our channel button, boom, whoops, there it is, snare top. Here we go. Now we're gonna solo that up. Here we go. Push that SSL, right? Get a little bit of compression. That's without it. So when you add a bunch of compression to it, it's going to turn up the volume. There's not a makeup gain to turn it down automatically. So you want to use your output fader here to kind of adjust for the volume difference. Before to after. Hear how much that adds to it with the compression? Let's go to the bottom. There's our bottom snare. Sounds pretty good on its own. Let's go ahead and just use a little bit of compression here. Now we can use our faders in Studio One if we want to get a balance. Again, I'm leaving everything at 0. So this is where something like the UF8 will be very handy, which you'll see in future videos. Let's keep moving. Hi-hats. Push that input a little bit. It's going to help our snare a little. Okay, let's see where we can get to. We got our next track up here is our tom tracks. We got tom 1, tom 2, a floor tom, and a room mic. So let's go to our overheads next. Let's do our overheads and let's get those dialed in. Okay, let's go to the room mic next. See, again, you can see with very little practice here, how easy this really becomes, right? You can really see how easily this really works. Okay, so there's kick, snare, hats, rooms, and overhead, so we can balance this a little bit now. Okay, let's go to our tom tracks. Let me close this quickly. Let me find where he hits the toms a couple of times here. He hits these rack toms and whatnot, kind of right here, and then he hits a tom 1 and tom 2. Let's just take a look at that. Sounds pretty good. Push a little bit of the preamp a little. Okay, tom 2. Push it a little bit. That. to that. Okay, so there's our 2 toms. Last one is our floor tom. Let's see where that kind of picks up here. Take a look at our timeline and just, oh, right here. Okay, great. So we can just hear all these toms right in a row. So let's open up the floor tom. So here we go. Nice. Down. Without it. With it. One more. Get a little bit more bottom ends. Okay, so there is, let me move this, close this for 1 second. So there's kind of our drums. So if we wanted to, let's close this up a little bit. Let's make a larger loop here. Let's kind of come in where the rest of the band kind of comes in. And then we can mix right here. Okay, and you can see where if you were to pair this up with the UF8, you can be doing all of that as well, because there's no pan knob from what I can see on the channel control either, which is fine. It's not supposed to be. So that's our drum. So let's just take away all the channel strips. That's where we started. Sounds really great. Okay, let's go to our shaker and our tambourine track. So let's select our track here. Again, I wish there was a way to open up the plugin window without having to use the mouse. I don't think there is. At least I couldn't find a way. If someone knows below, let me know in the comment section. Here is our tambourine track here. Let's check this out. Push the gain a little. Turn down the output. Right. Claps. Well, that's a lot. Okay. Okay, bass. So you can see when you use the compressor, the more compression you're going to have, the louder the signal is going to get. So you want to turn down that output fader using your gain. But as you can see, I'm just cycling through here, just using the UC1 for the most part, right? That's all we're really doing. So there we go. It's kind of that quick. I mean, again, I'm getting used to it. So now we have, let's see if we can do a little level matching here. Let's just see what we got with all the plugins turned on and off. Okay, now we have our bus compressor here. Let's check out the bus compressor. So if we open up our SSL bus compressor, we could do that all from here. So let's check, see what we got. So there you go. It really is that quick. Again, the only thing I wish you could open and close the plugin with this UC1. I don't think you can do that, as I keep saying. But again, now let's take away all the plugins. Bus compressor included. Where are we at? Here's with it. Level match pretty good for just whipping through it. So, I mean, that is how you mix very quickly in here. Again, once you get your hands, the muscle memory down, you really don't have to look. And the other thing too, just so you know, I would normally have this a little bit closer to me. I wouldn't have a microphone in front of me. So this is a little bit disjointing because I'm trying to reach over the microphone and stuff. But as you can see, I'm barely using the mouse and the keyboard at all. This is the only thing I really used the mouse for was to mix with the faders here in Studio One. But again, when you get the UF8 in here, that takes your hands off of that even more. And also with the UF8, and again, we'll talk about this in future videos, you can open and close the plugin windows on the UF8. So when you have that 1-2 combination, this whole keyboard and mouse thing goes right out the window. But for just having the UC1 here, it's very, very quick. I mean, you can mix 15 tracks in 5 minutes. I mean, you just get going, you just get moving. So this is really, really nice. And again, the other thing that I really like about it, it's very responsive. There's no latency. There's no weird thing where you turn the knob and it doesn't respond on the screen as quickly as you'd like. I mean, it is exactly, in time with no latency whatsoever. It really works very, very well. I can tell you that working with these EQ knobs compared to my SSL Origin, my console behind me, it has got a very similar feel. They're high quality. The taper's really nice. Same thing with the dynamic section. It feels familiar. That's the word. It feels familiar to me. I work on that almost every day and it feels very familiar. This is great. So that's how you mix just inside of your DAW without using the 360 software with one of these channel strips. So in the next video, we're going to do this all in the 360 software. We're just going to do it from here, and I'm going to show you some of the advantages of that and what's really cool about that. So you don't even need to look at your DAW. You can mix with the faders right in here. So that's what we're going to do in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the UC1 and how quickly you can get up and running. It is a really good piece. If you're looking for a plug-in controller, this is one to really, really consider. It's really, really nice. As I said at the beginning of the video, I want to give you something else to help you out with your mixing journey. So as I said before, go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Get your free mixing course. It's right on the homepage there. It's a big orange button. You can't miss it. Download that $100 course absolutely for free. It's a 90-minute mixing course. It really sets you on the right path to getting professional sounding mixes in your home studio with any DAW, with any set of plugins. Trust me. Once you take that course, you're going to say, Dave, I want to take some more of your full-length training courses. I really dig the way you teach. Thank you very much in advance. I want to give you a 25% discount on any training course on my website. That 25% discount coupon code is YouTube25. If you put that in at checkout, it will take 25% off any course on the website. Whether you have the mixing course, the free one course or not, you can use that at any time From now till the end of time, you'll always get 25% off my training courses. So use that today. Once again, like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the thanks button beneath the video if this video helped you in any way. If you want to get your own UC1 Solid State Logic plugin controller, click the links in the description box to go out to Sweetwater with my affiliate links, and I thank you in advance for doing so. So once again, this has been Dave with HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. Make sure you come back to the next video where we're going to jump more into the UC1 and we're going to see what more great things this thing can do. I'll see you guys in the next video.